JD here, to Limitless, and as you can see, we're Austria, round 8 I believe of the AOR this season, season 9, and this is my first of 2 quali laps I'll be showing you here today. This is a really clean lap, lap I was really happy with, and you'll see why I'm showing 2 laps. But moving on to this lap and just talking about the track itself, really, to be honest. This is a really good track for me. I feel it's probably one of my strongest tracks, along with China, Silverstone, Spa. Just seem to have quite good consistency around here, and just the general, the race pace really seems to be pretty strong. So this is definitely a track that I'm going to try and keep up the momentum at. And but I know that Broziak is very strong around here, and I know a lot of people like Leobot, as you can see. He's very strong around here as well. So I've got to make sure we're in top form. I've done not quite a bit of practice, but I made sure I knew the strategy pretty well before the race. I didn't really do that much quali pace, but normally I do just quite a lot of race pace, and that's what wins. That's what gets you to win at the end of the day during the race, not in qualifying. But as you can see, Jason puts in a really good time there. But we're on a really good lap as well. We're going purple in the middle sector at the moment, and it's a really clean lap so far. There hasn't been any cutting or extending from what I've seen. And see if we can nail this penultimate corner. We've done that pretty well. Try not to cut this last corner, and we haven't extended it either. And we're going across the line, and we've managed to do a 7.4, which is a pretty good lap. I feel that's pretty more or less on the limit for me in terms of being clean. But this next lap here, you'll be able to see on the last corner I make a bit of a mistake. Probably should have aborted the lap, but keep in mind I've done a 7.58, so remember that time. And we're going to improve this lap, but the majority of the lap is really good. It's really clean. Like the first corner is really good, and you'll be able to see here, I've put it in slow motion for you. That is within the white line, so you can get a magnifying out glass there if you want. But yeah, just talk about the race. Strategy is really important, because tyre wear is quite a big factor around here. I thought you could do a 1-stop, because I did a 2-stop and 100%, but it's really not the case. You could probably do it, but it'd definitely be a lot slower. But yeah, feeling confident into going into this race. Felt I've prepared quite well for the race as well. Well, if you're in a league, you've got to really prepare, because you can't really blame anyone else then. But so far, this lap is really good, clean, and yeah, we just ballsed up that corner. To be honest, I hold my hands up. Should have really backed off, but in heat of the moment, I didn't. I've improved my time, but as you can see at the end of the session, luckily it didn't actually impact on my grid position, so I still stayed in 4th position. Even if I aborted that lap, I still would have been in 4th, because Jack didn't improve, and I didn't beat any of the guys ahead of me. So I hold my hands up to that. I apologise for that, but I feel my race is really clean. That's something I've been working on in generally throughout everything, really, is just in terms of being clean. It just feels so much better and more satisfying when you do get good results being clean as well. But moving on to the start of the race itself, I'm really looking forward to this one, and hopefully we should have a good start here as the lights go out, and Leobot has got an awful start, so that is straight into 3rd place. And Broziak is ahead of us, and that's Jason in the lead as well, so well done to him for getting pole position. As we get a little bit of contact there, I think that's from Jack. I didn't really expect him to try and hold it down the inside there, but yeah, luckily none of us spun out or anything. But it's game on at the moment as Broziak's making a move on Jason, and I bet he feels he needs to get into the lead, because obviously he's my arch rival at the moment, and he wants to try and take points off me, and I want to try and take points off him. And so we just bang it down the inside of Jason. So not really, we're not going to be taking our time. We need to try and get on the back of Broziak and pressure him as much as possible, and that was my mindset coming to this race. Well, after the qualifying, I knew I was going to be behind. I knew he was quick around here as well, and the only way to make sure that he doesn't win a race is just try and pressure him as much as possible and as early as possible. So just full out attack pretty much straight away. Just not try and take your time behind him. And it looks like he's made a bit of a mistake, so we've actually gone into a lead. So 4th to 1st in lap 1, so a pretty perfect first lap at the moment. And Jason's actually got past him as well. So if we can actually build a little gap, or try and break away from Jason, but I don't think that's going to happen though, because Jason is ridiculously quick around here. Jason's got a bit of a run on us now, so we're going to move into the middle of the track just so to stop him coming on the inside, and we've just been blown up. Wow, we've just been blown up on the inside, and I can tell you now that wasn't actually Broziak. He was actually pushed, well, not actually really pushed, he was lag bubbled into me by Jack575 if you watch his video. So pretty unfortunate event there, not really anyone's fault to be honest, but I was quite annoyed at this moment. I thought it was Broziak who actually hit me, so I didn't know what was going on, so I'm being quite aggressive trying to get past him. I was going to try and hold it down the inside there, but no, that's not going to happen. But just got to calm down a little bit now. We've still got 34 laps of the race to go, so still got a long way to go in this race. And as I said before, I always tend to think about the long game of a race rather than just worrying about what's happened the previous lap or on the lap you're on. There's no point doing that, because you're just going to make more mistakes, get more frustrated, and it just doesn't really help anything. So right now we're feeling quite relaxed, just trying to stay within the track limits as Jason makes a bit of a mistake. And again, we've got quite a nice run on him at the moment, so we got to try and get past him as quick as possible, because we don't want to be battling with Jason and then for my main rival in the championship to get away. And we managed to just hold around outside, a little bit of contact there, but luckily we've got the DRS as well, so that seems to be move secured at the moment. And Broziak's a little bit up the road, but we've got the DRS, so if we get a good rest of the lap, hopefully we should be within his DRS, which it looks to be. We should definitely be within a second of him. But moving on to lap 5 now, we've managed to break away from the train behind us, and the pace is really good at the moment. It's very strong between myself and Broziak, but seem to be quite equal in pace, because I knew he was really good around here. This is probably one of his best tracks actually, and I knew it was going to definitely be quite a challenge. So just got mentally, it's not about really the skill or driving, it's more about the mental toughness, to be honest, in this race. Whoever cracks under pressure first is pretty much going to win the race. So keeping within the white lines again, and it's quite difficult to overtake around here. You may think it'd be quite easy because of the straights, but if you're trying to keep it clean, it's definitely a lot more difficult than what it looks, as we're not really going to have an attempt here at the moment. But he's gone a bit deep, so you've got DRS as well, good traction, and hopefully we should try and secure it down the inside. You could try and maybe go around the outside, but we're more than a half a car length ahead of him now, so that should be the move done. Try and keep it on the inside, and he's coming back at us. He's coming back on the right again, so plenty of side-by-side action so far. Go try and hold it, and as he runs a little bit deep, so that is us into first place. Managed to get into first place back again as we move on to lap 10 now, and we've made a bit of a gap to him. He made a bit of a mistake, and we've managed to just keep it quite consistent, as my tyres are now starting to go off now, but yeah, we've managed to keep it quite consistent, build a little bit of a gap, so a little bit of breathing space, and the pressure's on him at the moment. It's up to him to get within our DRS and catch us, as he seems to brake very late. He always seems to close up on me quite a bit going into the braking zones. That just tends to be his style of racing, but yeah, we've got a bit of a gap on him at the moment. As you can see there, our tyres are definitely starting to go off, and keep it in lean mix. You may have noticed I changed the fuel quite a bit around here, and I even keep it lean at the start of the race. Even though you've got good grip, I feel it just saves your tyres, and this is where it seems to be working. Look at the gap now, where you can see visually that we're extending it now, and that's why I feel just running a lean mix, being just quite cautious on the throttle, just seems to definitely come back to you at the end of the race, really. And again, we see what the gap is now within the 10th of our last lap, so nice and consistent at 1.2 seconds, so outside of DRS zone, which is exactly what we want to be. And as you can see from our tyres there, in a pretty bad condition, but we're still staying quite strong at the moment with our traction, as Broziak now pits, so he was definitely struggling in his tyres, and we were starting to eke out a bit of a gap to him. So moving on to lap 13 now, and my tyres are almost 10. And look at this, look at the drifting we're actually doing at the moment. You'll see in this next corner as well. That is pretty much rally driving at the moment. So we are definitely going to pit this lap. I thought before the race, before I did the strategy in practice, that I was going to try and go to lap 20 or something, but that's definitely not going to happen, as we keep it within the white lines coming into the pits as well. Just checking what tyres he's on, so yep, it's definitely going to be a 2-stop strategy. He hasn't gone on the prime tyre, and that means he should definitely get an undercut on us, so our in-lap wasn't very quick. As you can see, we're 3 seconds down, pretty much, so not a very good in-lap, but hopefully it was good enough to try and stay relatively close. As we are coming out of the pits now, we're almost in the lead, but no, Brozek's overtaken us, and that is Jason coming off the first corner as well. So we got to try and, if we can stay ahead of him, like with Canada, we stayed ahead of Leobot coming out of the pits, and it proved to be an absolutely massive part of the race. And again, this seems to be that could be a race-winning moment, to be honest. Because if I stayed behind Jason, who's very quick on pace as well, we would have been battling, and that could have let Brozek actually get away. So luckily, we have stayed ahead of Jason, and we've just got to push on now. We've got to try and put in some strong, consistent laps and try and get that momentum. I feel if you start to catch someone and they can see you're catching them, the momentum's with you. And it's very, very hard for the driver in front to try and edge out that gap again. And since we've got the lap fresher tyres as well, which seems to be quite a big factor in this game, I was feeling pretty confident. But as you can see, we've definitely closed in on him, but not as quick as I thought we would do. But saying that, Brozek's obviously a very good driver, and this has been one of his best tracks. We couldn't really expect to catch him that quickly, but now it seems to be in our favour a bit. We're definitely pumping in some very quick laps at the moment, as you can see there, and we are within a second of him now, so got to try and get a good overtaking opportunity. But as you say, coming off that first corner, it's such a slow corner coming from a fast straight. It's so difficult to get a run on someone here, but hopefully we can just stay in this DRS. My aim was to try and overtake him before the pit stop. If I could overtake him before my pit stop, it would just make it that much easier, because the prime tyres are not quick around here. So if I could get ahead of him before my pit stop, that puts me in a really, really good position. And right now, that is the aim, really. We've just got to try and try and get ahead of him before the pit stop. And as you can see, we're definitely getting closer at the moment, as we are coming into the braking zone. And yeah, he hasn't gone deep this time, but you can see from our traction, the tyre wear is starting to definitely come into our favour. So we've got a 9 second or 5.7 second, I can't quite see on the screen, but we've got a fairly big gap behind us, so the pace is definitely evident. And I think it's 5.7 looking from that gap. But moving on to the end of lap 22 now, we are hassling him. We're right behind him at the moment, trying to put as much pressure as possible. Got the DRS, but we're not actually going to use it, because we don't want to overtake someone to his first corner, because of the tightness of the corner, and plus the long straight afterwards, you'd just be giving him the DRS for the next corner. So just go play it smart. Just think about when we'll go overtake him. We'll go overtake him into the right hairpin, which is turn 4, I believe. So we'll go try and go down the inside here, because that means we'll get the DRS for the next corner. And looks like our tyres are definitely going off as well, so try and get in the DRS, put it into Rich Mix, get in his draft, and we should be able to do a move down here. So we'll just go pull alongside him, try and outbrake him, but try not to hit him as well, because it's this track seems to be very, very tight. You can easily hit someone. So we'll go back out of that there. We're still right behind him, and him going on the prime for the next stint, we shouldn't really lose much of an undercut on him. So we're feeling quite relaxed at the moment. We've got a gap behind us as well, and we've got 13 laps to go. With him being on the older tyres that he will be, there's no point really trying to throw it away at the moment. Just got to stick behind him, hope that he makes a mistake. But if he provides us with an opportunity, we'll definitely take it, because that puts us in the hot seat for the last stint. Again, coming into turn 1, try and keep it within the white lines as we do, and we've definitely got a better run on him this time, so we should be able to have a good overtaking opportunity coming into this next corner. But no, we're going to stick behind him. We're going to try and sweep out and take a bit of a wider line, so that means we're getting the traction a bit easier and DRS, and we should be in a position to have a go at him going to his right-hander now. So moving alongside him, are we going to do it? Yes, we are. And this time we're going to be a bit later on the brakes, be a bit more aggressive, try and leave him a bit of room on the outside, and that is the move done. So it looks like his tyres are definitely going off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pits us that, because we should be definitely pulling away from now as we are coming through the sector now. It seems someone's gotten a bit of damage there, and the others are definitely pitted behind us as well if you look at that gap. So Brozak should definitely pit this lap, I would expect. And let's see on the map, yep, he pits, so we've got to do a really good in that. But as I said, since the options are definitely a lot faster than the Prime, he shouldn't really have an undercut on us, to be honest. As with Australia, you saw that in the first round as we come into the pits. Now our tyres were in pretty bad condition, but we'll go into the Prime tyre now for the last stint, and hopefully this should be. I was expecting to actually come out in front, and at the moment he's nowhere to be seen. As we still look at him, he's still nowhere to be seen, and there he is. So we have got quite a big gap, and Prime tyres just seem to take absolutely ages to heat up. So it could take me a couple of laps to get up to speed in this, but let's see what the gap is. We can't quite see it at the moment, but it looks to be, well, definitely out of DRS zone. I'd say about a 1.5 to 2 second gap at the moment, it's a 1.9 second gap. As we move on to lap 27 now, he's closed the gap in by about a couple of attempts, and we're skipping on to the next lap again. And let's see what the gap is. The gap is 1.1 seconds, so he's caught us 6 attempts in one lap. So for us being on the fresher tyres, it just seems to be that our tyres have taken quite a bit of time to get up to temperature. Or he's just been on an absolute rampage. He's just driving the life out of his car at the moment. But unfortunately we couldn't see that in his highlights, because I would have quite liked to have seen that. But nonetheless, that is a pretty impressive pace, as the gap now is 0.9 of a second. So this is definitely starting to hot up a little bit, you could say, coming into the last 7 laps of the race now, and he's in our DRS zone. But right now I'm feeling pretty calm and relaxed. I've been in this position before in previous seasons. I'm quite used to the pressure now. I'm glad I've had that taste of that from Racing Noble, Matty G. I've been in these kind of pressurising situations before, and he hasn't really been in those situations as many times as me. So we're just going to keep it calm, really, just think of our head. We've got a lap fresher tyres as well, so we're going to have more traction at the end of the race. I know the Prime should easily get to the end of the race, but nonetheless we still have the fresher tyres, and we have track position, so it's down to him at the moment. It's all up to him if he wants to make that move. I'm not really going to take too many risks, because I'm leading the championship. Got quite a nice decent lead at the moment. Got track position, and plus third place is quite a long way behind us, so we're not really going to... Well, we will fight, because I hate losing. That's my worst thing. I'm not a very bad... I'm not a very good loser, to be honest. I really hate losing. But we're not going to do a do or die defend or move that's going to cost us and take us both out or put us in the stewards. We're not really going to do that unless I'm pushed into that kind of situation. But he's right behind us now. He's 2 tenths behind us, so right behind us, and he's looking good at the moment. He's got really good pace, but as I said, I'm feeling just quite relaxed. I'm not really letting it get to me. I'm trying to just focus on my braking points and apexes. I'm trying not to look behind too much. I do look behind just there, but I only look behind when I need to. There's no point really doing it too much, because you're not really going to be doing yourself any favours. And from now to the end of the race, I can tell this is from now to the end of the race. There's no more editing or cutting or anything. And as you can see, he's got a great run on us, so he should be going down the inside of us. And we're just going to brake a little bit later than him. We just feel really confident on the brakes around here. And since without having that better traction and maybe to do a setup as well, I don't think he should be in a position to get past us. As you can see in the map, he's a little bit too far behind. We're going to move into the middle of the track just to deter him a little bit. But we've been saving fuel as well. So again, we're just going to count off that attack. The only pace he can really... Well, I feel as we've been pushed, we've actually just been pushed and that corner, because he seems to take a really weird line going to there, but luckily he's just let us back through again, so fair play to him. But yeah, he seems to take a really tight line. I tend to take quite a sweeping line to that corner, so But yeah, as I said, fair play to him for letting us back past. But we just got to think of our heads. And the only pace, well, as I was saying, the only pace he can really overtake us now is into the that right-hander. I'd say that hairpin. He could overtake us into here if he can, but it's very, very difficult to get a good run on someone, especially if you're doing those corners clean. In dirty air as well, it's very, very difficult to overtake someone into here. So I'd expect coming off this corner, he wants to try and get a good run off this corner. So we're just making sure we're getting the best traction possible. So nice and slow into the apex. First gear to get that turning, and then just try and get maximum traction. So as you can see now, it's definitely working at the moment. So it's he's not really in position at the moment. So if we can just keep this up for the next 2 laps, just ensure we get the best possible exit off that corner, it should be very, very difficult for him to get past. And he's still within our DRS. 4 tenths behind us now, 2 laps to go. So I'm starting to feel the pressure a bit now. Not gonna lie, I'm definitely starting to sweat a bit. But as I said, just there's no point really panicking too much as well. That you just got to just try and focus on the braking points and apexes. As he gets a really good exit off that corner. So this is probably the closest he's been to us, behind us going to his first corner. So we've got to just try and aim to keep it in white lines as we do. And it looks like he's got a really, really good exit there. So we're not really going to defend. We're just going to stay on the left-hand side, because I find taking a wide sweeping line, you just get so much better traction. As he's gone down the inside of us, he's banged it down the inside of us. So a good move by him. And he's got DRS, so we are going to be behind for the last race, unless we can just do a really good move into here now. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it looks like we're going to be behind for the last lap of the race. And to be honest, that's what when he went to overtake me there, I wasn't really too concerned, because I thought I'd have the good traction and good straight line speed. I thought I'd be able to possibly get him at the end of the straight on the next lap. So looks like it's going to go down to the last lap. So things are getting pretty tense. And he hasn't really been, well, actually in Canada he was in that position as well last week, where he was leading. And let's see if he's learnt from his pressure, what he did there. He made a bit of a mistake last time. Let's see. He's defending into his first corner, but we wouldn't even think about doing him to that first corner. So he might as well have just stayed in the racing line. And we're going to try and go to his left-hand side. If we can go to his left-hand side, that would give us a really, really good exit. So he's left us room. We would never go down the inside there, because we'll just get a really poor exit. Possibly hold it around the outside, but I thought to myself, I just want to get the best exit possible. So we've got the DRS, rich mix with +1 fuel as well. So we're going to go around the outside of him here. And this is the breaking point. This is the point where I thought, this is it. This is where I'm going to try and overtake him. And we've gone around the outside of him. So we've managed to get into the lead of the race. And it looks like it's secured and done, but he's gone down the inside. He's actually pushed us out wide. And this time he's not actually going to let us pass. So I was feeling pretty hyped at this moment. So we'll just go hold it around the outside of him again. So just do double favours there. And at this point, the only way I can lose this race is if I just bostle it into the last corner. So just keep it nice and calm, keep it in lean mix, make sure I nail the apexes, and that is us winning the race. So pretty hyped after winning that race. Considering what happened on the last lap, I was a bit miffed when he pushed me out wide a bit, but luckily we still managed to hold it around the outside and win the race. So that was a pretty intense battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the commentary, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, and catch you next race. Cheers.